Hi everybody, it's Stacy Frizzle with People Plus, and this is your community update. And a big shout out, thanks Violet, my production assistant, for starting the camera for me. I'm at home, so this background of the door to our china cabinet in the dining room is going to become pretty familiar. But anyway, I hope you're all well. The big news, obviously, today, Tuesday, March 24th, is that last night, the town of Brunswick made a proclamation. Here, I'm going to read a little bit to this of this to you. Emergency proclamation in order of the town manager. So basically, everyone needs to shelter in place, and essentially what that means is I'm going to read through some of this for you. Says, Town of Brunswick declared a civil state of emergency last night, Monday night, March 23rd, effectively enacting a town-wide shelter in place. Now, I haven't talked to Derek Skrapchansky, the town manager in Topsom yet, and I haven't touched base with Harpswell as of yet, but I can't help but wonder if those towns are going to follow suit shortly. So stay on the lookout. We'll have updates for you on that, but for right now, the full town of Brunswick is on a 7-day shelter in place. According to this article in today's Times Record, the Councillor James Mason actually said every day looks worse than the day before. We're in much worse shape than we were a week ago, and I'm sure he's kind of wondering where we'll be at this time next week. So here's the way it works. You need to stay home as much as you can. You're allowed to still go out for food, medical, and essential services. And all businesses need to close unless they are within a list of businesses that are considered by the town to be essential. That includes healthcare facilities and pharmacies, grocery stores and markets, gas stations, food cultivation and processing businesses like farmers, farm stands, etc., convenience stores. All of those kind of places can stay open for business. Gas stations, funeral homes, public transportation, laundromats can stay open. Trash collection agencies, construction companies, child care centers, which is actually kind of interesting. News agencies, medical marijuana establishments, and animal care businesses like a veterinary's office, pet supply store, and animal shelters, plumbers, and hotels. Those can all stay open, but there are a lot of other things that are not considered vital. So fitness centers, auditoriums, casinos, yoga studios, movie theaters, museums, private clubs, dance clubs, music venues, recreation centers, or other businesses not categorized as essential have to close. So obviously we closed People Plus about a week ago, over a week ago at this point. And gosh, I feel like all of us who've already been at home for about a week have really made the right decision. So schools will be permitted to hand out food and supplies for remote learning. Restaurants will still be permitted to operate as in the takeout only style. But customers are not allowed to enter the restaurant. They must be met outside by employees. And then a single employee from a company is permitted to go into the company and perform, necessary functions. So for People Plus, that's me. I'll end up having to go into the center every few days and get the mail and pay the bills and make sure we don't have anything outstanding that's happened there. Meals on Wheels is still going to roll out of the center, and that'll happen tomorrow, which is Wednesday, March 25th, and Friday the 27th. So we're still trying to sort of have things function if they can, that provide basic services. So our next job then is to keep everybody happy and entertained and engaged and in touch. So we've got a couple ways that we're trying to make that happen through People Plus. So if you're looking for what's open and what's closed, really the best way, folks, is to go to the website or just call people on the phone and ask if they're still open. Grocery stores are open. convenience stores, gas stations, all that kind of stuff, places that you buy supplies and things you need for yourself or for your animals, they will stay open, which is a huge, thing. I do wonder how they're going to run something like PetSmart with only one employee, but I guess they'll figure it out. Anyway, so there's senior hours for a lot of these places as well. So check the BDA website for all of those listings, and all the farmers markets should be running. Those were in the list of organizations that can stay open. So that's great. So the BDA and the Chamber of Commerce, especially the local chamber, the Coastal Southern Mid-Coast Maine Chamber, combined with the BDA and the town of Topsom and the town of Harpswell, they've all done a fantastic job keeping their websites updated. Really use these. They're a fantastic resource of information and what's open, what's closed, where to go for stuff, and who to call. And of course, the hospitals and medical facilities will all stay open. And they're all looking for masks. So Lenny Burke, big shout out, has been at home busily sewing on her old sewing machine that she has pulled out of the closet. She's been making face masks for people to wear at the hospital, which is amazing. So if you can sew at all, if you're any sort of sewer, whether it's on a machine or by hand, visit the hospital Facebook or website, because they've got a pattern up there and they are desperate for face masks. So that would be a really fun thing to do, and stay, kind of engaged and feel like you've got something to do with all the free time on your hands. Okay, and then today at the Bath Y, there's a blood drive from 12 to 5. I assume that's still happening. I'm not positive, so call the Y and ask them. The number is 443-4112. The Bath Y, 443-4112, to check and see if they're still doing that blood drive. I don't know, because I'm not sure if Bath has a shelter in place. It's just Brunswick, so the Bath Y may still be operating a blood drive for today. And if you can get out and give blood, if that's something that you're able to do, they probably need it. Okay, that's sort of my read-along update. A lot of the things we're trying to get people to do is, and we're gonna have links in the email where you got this video, is so many museums are doing online museum tours. So we're gonna feature a museum a day, and national parks all over the world and our nation are featuring park tours. So yesterday I talked about Acadia National Park here in Maine. So you can definitely check that one out online. We had a link to it in yesterday's email blast. But we'll have a national park or some sort of park or outdoor tour for everybody to take every day. And we'll do like an art museum tour of the day. Today, we'll have another reading from Frank. And I've got to get Jane to videotape Frank at home, because we can't go see each other anymore and he can't come to People Plus to be recorded. So hopefully we'll figure out how to get some more Frank videos. But we did record 4 essays so far, and we may be able to get some more of those. And then something else that we'll have a link to is all of our FYI presentations. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them were videotaped by Bernie Breitbart. So they are available on Vimeo. So we'll put a link up to some of our throwback presentations, and you should be able to watch them on our website. So I'm gonna get up and show everybody the snow. We got pretty close to 8 inches of snow here in Bowdoin. And my cats are actually, this is kind of amusing, the cats are under the table where I've been videotaping. They're wrestling. So with the cats wrestling, there's where I'm shooting. This is the dining room. This is my little setup with my, my lighting. Actually, we ordered this lighting a while ago. I'll just show everybody where I'm sitting, because Jonathan and I want to record videos up here in the new kitchen, and it's come in tremendously helpful. So I'm going to walk you out the back again really fast and show you all of the snow. It totally changes the look and feel of the property completely. It's so bright, super, super sunny out, and just looks so pretty. It's like a winter wonderland, which nobody really wants right now, but it is kind of pretty. So you can see that there's our big ash tree in the middle of the yard. And there's the pond again, and the pergola, and the stairs going down. Yesterday, this was all grass, and today it's snow. So depending on how long I'm doing these videos, I thought I might show you the yard every day. We'll just do a quick tour. And then if I'm home for, the next month or so, we can watch everything come out and bud on the trees together. And there's the kitties following me around the house as I do my tour. Okay, so speaking of, this is our living room. So this is, one of the things I might do is have Jonathan give us a tour of these two portraits at some point. Those are his family relatives, and they are direct descendants of the Mayflower. Okay, so as I move here into the kitchen, look who I found.
Good morning.
You're completely backlit, so we can't see your face at all.
Well.
There you are. So Jonathan's going to do a little cooking show for us today. But do you remember I showed you yesterday the forsythia? So I said, go out in your yard and cut some forsythia and put it in water because you can force it and it'll come open. And look at the difference from yesterday to today. It's amazing. So I've actually taken a picture of it every day it's been inside the house. And I'm going to post sort of a collection of those. But anyway, the forsythia, which is standing in the fireplace, is really, really pretty right now. So I promised yesterday that one of the things, oh, you know what? And I also have to show this before I say. So this is called an angel wing begonia. Ellen Asherman at the center gave me a clipping. They're all over the center. And this one was literally a nub of just a stick that had broken off. And we stuck it in an old milk jug of water. If you can see, you see how it's just like in a milk jug of water? And it's just been sitting there growing leaves, and now it has the most beautiful flowers on it. You can see right there how pretty they are. Anyway, that's really neat. And so we love to have lots of stuff like that around. This is a Christmas cactus that Kirkdale Clark brought us to a party once. So thanks, Kurt. Anyway, okay, so Jonathan, hi.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm great.
You look nice and pink. Okay, so one of the things we want to do are some little mini cooking videos so that people can do stuff at home. And it's actually super, super, super easy to make bread at home, like way easier than you might think that it is. And so what we're going to do a couple days in advance is make what's called what?
There are a few different names for it. We call it a poolish. It's also called a biga. I think chef is another name for it, depending on which culture you come from. And you can start bread, just throw the yeast and the flour and the water together and just, in fact, we did that last night because we made pizzas on short notice with homemade crust. But over the years of baking, what I found is that the quality of the bread, the texture, the flavor is better if we start the yeast with some of the flour several days in advance, at least a day, desirably 3 days. So what we're going to do is we're going to put equal amounts, in this case 2 cups of flour and 2 cups of water, and a small amount of just plain old regular jar yeast.
Can you show me the jar yeast so that
Yep,
you see? Yeah,
just
so
right.
it's
There's
just
a bunch
like,
of different brands, but it's basically just jar yeast. So 2 cups of water, 2 cups of flour, and normally you'd put in a tablespoon or 2 of yeast, and what we're doing is we're putting in half a teaspoon. So it's a small amount of yeast.
And that's because it's going to sit for several days. If you put in 2 tablespoons, what would happen?
So there are a couple different reasons why we start it this way. One reason is that the flour hydrates better the longer it sits. And if you read up on dough, you read about hydration and so on. But we don't want to overcomplicate it. What we're really trying to do is make a slightly better bread than if we're making bread by just starting it and baking it the same day that we start it. So 2 things happen. Again, the flour gets hydrated better by sitting with the water, in contact with the water longer, and by using a small amount of yeast, and we're going to leave this sitting just out in the open on the kitchen counter somewhere in a relatively warm part of the house, is that there are natural airborne yeasts that are going to come in here. Because we only use a small amount of the commercial yeast, we have enough to keep it from molding. It will generate a yeast type culture, but the yeast culture will not be so strong that it resists the introduction of new natural airborne yeasts.
Okay, so the yeast makes it not mold? It eats the mold?
It creates a competing
culture
of microorganisms. in
Huh, I never knew that. All right, that's interesting. So you
Which
can
is the same reason why
you can see why he's the gentleman farmer in Maine.
the same reason why fermented things like beer and cider are safe to drink. You know, we talked about we had some ancient homebrewed beer that we bottled and been in the cellar for 20 years. We read before we opened it to find out whether it was going to have botulism, and it doesn't, because it's got the competing
Cultures
in there that keep it from growing.
Gotcha.
So we
Okay.
put this in there. We did not add salt because we don't want to inhibit the growth of things. We will add plenty of salt later on. So this is just going to sit on the counter for 2 or 3 days, and then we'll make some bread.
So do you cover it or is it uncovered? Because you want the yeast to get in it, so it's uncovered,
Yeah, we're
right?
going to leave it uncovered. Sometimes we'll cover it after a day or two. We don't want the top to dry out. We'll come down, we'll stir it once a day. We may add a little more water during the winter when it's really dry in the house.
Okay, and you want to put it somewhere like the cat is not going to get into it, or basically I would be worried about people's cats on their counters. So if you have cats on your kitchen counters, you want to put this somewhere your cat doesn't go, wherever that may be. Maybe the top of your cabinet or something, like the top of the fridge, maybe, I don't know. But stick it away somewhere for like 2 days. We'll come back and visit ours tomorrow. And then what I do is encourage you to make this now. So after you're done watching the video, get 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of water, half a teaspoon of yeast, which if you have that, it's like maybe part of a packet. You could tear open a yeast packet, or if you have it in a jar like we do, mix it up and walk away. And that's literally all you do, right?
That's what we're going to do.
Okay, and then we'll show you how to make bread on Thursday or Friday, because today's Tuesday. So we want it to plump and hydrate and do its thing for several days. Okay, thanks, honey.
You bet. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so that is our update for today for People Plus and the community update. I'm going to stand over here. Hopefully I'm not terribly backlit. And just say goodbye, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll be in touch. But don't forget, it's now the law in Brunswick to stay home unless you have to go out. All right, good luck with that. Watch all of our videos. Stay in touch. Do your exercise. We've got lots and lots of great exercise videos, and try meditation. Ann Kimmage's meditation is online now too, and that'll kind of help you pass some time and feel calm and centered. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.